I'll admit I'm sometimes afraid that mean old world will change us instead. But then I look at my daughter.
My name is Lucy McLean, and I'm an active contributor to the well-being of my community. The entire purpose of my vault was to come up to the surface one day and restart civilization. It's Reclamation Day. It's what keeps us all going. And it already happened without us.
People are going to come after you. You'll need to move quickly.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I've had a rough week. Practically every person I've met up here has tried to kill me, so...
You come from a world of rules, of laws. This place is indifferent to all of that.
Stand down now.
You would be willing to do what it takes if you still want the same things.
I'm simply going to harvest your organs.
Vault dwellers are an endangered species.
Golden rule, fucker.
You just give it a little time.
Looks like Fallout has officially returned to our screens, with the first episode not being as impactful as Season 1's, but definitely setting up a lot of key factors coming to play. And there were definitely some highlights, like Big Iron playing in the fight at Novak, or the Ghoul and Lucy exploring Vault 24, which was actually a cut vault from the games. Either way, it definitely resembled the same feeling I got in the games, with just being glued to the screen trying to piece together what the experiment was going on inside the vault. As for those who may not know, majority, if not every single vault, had a different type of experiment going on within it. Any vault that wasn't deemed controlled. Seems in Vault 24 they were working on mind controlling humans to the point they can change their allegiance. But in this video, I primarily wanted to go over what we might be seeing in the future of the season, as it looks like Season 2 is going to be one wild ride. And by the end of the video, I'll be theorizing on what exactly Hank's grand plans could be and how it could directly tie to Lucy's dark fate. Either way, we'll start with the fact that it looks like Norm's going to be leading the Vault Dwellers in Bud's Buds, not only through a radroach infestation, but also onto the surface. And while I doubt they'll make their way all the way to Vegas by this time, I am unsure if there's going to be a time skip, as we still don't know how long Norm has been down there, unless he's fully just been surviving off of drain pipes this entire time Lucy and the Ghoul have been making their way to Vegas. Either way, these Vault Dwellers should act more human and normal compared to the Vault Dwellers we've seen so far. Less socially geared and put towards optimism, and reacting more normally and realistic to the situations at hand. Or at least that's what I'm hoping for. But part of me also thinks once they make their way to the surface, there's going to be a huge massacre. Just to illustrate how dangerous the wasteland is, and how lucky Lucy was to have made it as far as she did. Or they could even be taken and experimented on by some evil force out there in the wasteland. As we already know, there's many different forces at play working with human experimentation. And experimenting on humans has been a trope in Fallout since the very first game, with the Master and his experiments with FEV. And it seems Hank has found a new Vault-Tec worksite in order to run some more experiments. Although some of his wording here makes me believe that the dark force he's trying to impress isn't necessarily the heads of Vault-Tec, but actually the Enclave. I believe this could also be who Betty and Steph work for as well, with Steph being the new overseer and Betty controlling the other vault. It's really up to Norm or maybe even Chet to help everyone break this ceiling of oppression over them, or at least open their eyes to what's really going on. It also looks like we're going to be catching up with Thaddeus, who seems to be taking care of abandoned, neglected, or deformed kids. Still not quite sure what actually happened with him and what he ingested, but I'm hoping seeing the Mad Hatter return in the season will get more explanation as to who exactly he is. Still, I wonder if Thaddeus will have any key roles to play in the whole Brotherhood civil war going on. I'm really hoping this big conflict between the Commonwealth and the West Coast Brotherhood really lasts the entire season, rather than just kinda plays out in one episode and is over quickly. I could even see the West Coast Brotherhood joining up with Caesar's Legion, as their aesthetics are already somewhat similar, but I could also see their power armor being adorned in a Caesar's Legion flag. And yes, I know it's Caesar, but I'm gonna keep calling it Caesar till the end of time, so. The reason I'm worried this conflict won't last very long is because we can see both Maximus and Dane making an escape from all the chaos. Maybe this will give the writers and the budget a break while the war brews in the background, and maybe takes a more frontal narrative role in Season 3. All I'm hoping is that this war isn't short and brief like it was with Moldaver. Despite how action-packed and cool it was, still fit so well because it was at the end of the season. Versus when you think of a Brotherhood Civil War, you don't think of it as a one-episode thing. Still, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Part of me thinks it's Dane running along with Maximus here and they'll work together to maybe figure some stuff out. But I also wonder if Dane will struggle with their allegiance to the Brotherhood. We also get the clarification of both Robert House watching his body double up on the screen. And I'm glad they brought the actor back from season 1 so that they could at least give him some more roles to play in this season, and not just simply recast the whole situation. Still, some have wondered if this actor playing Robert House is actually his brother, Anthony. Though I don't really think that would make much sense, as Anthony was a really paranoid and angry guy. And I don't think him and Robert House got along, but I'm not that fresh on the lore. For some YouTube channels that are really good at explaining the lore and going through breakdowns, I'll leave some links to their channels in the comments below. Otherwise, it seems Robert House's grand plan, or what his ultimate goal is, will be the complete subservience of humanity. Or finding a way to control everyone with the tiniest microchip he can. For you don't have to end the world or kill all the competition if you can simply control them. Now who's to say if this was his actual grand plan goal, but I do think it will be Hank's. Still, part of me wonders where House could be in Hank referring to someplace away from New Vegas. Still, if Hank is successful in developing some form of mind control, this could be the huge antagonistic threat for the series, with a couple of nukes maybe sprinkled throughout the show. This brings me directly to Lucy's fate. I believe throughout the season, her and the Ghoul will play this moral tug of war and get along but also fight a lot. They'll even come across a Deathclaw and somehow survive the altercation. Which, when I played New Vegas, I got murdered by several Deathclaws because I tried to go straight to the big old city that said New Vegas. I believe at some point they'll reach some form of a conflict and Lucy will officially leave the Ghoul behind. The Ghoul may even feel some guilt over this separation depending on what he actually did. Part of me thinks the Ghoul will do something really messed up to make Lucy mad. Or maybe he'll just grow tired of her, who knows. Either way, I think this will lead to Lucy getting captured or accidentally finding the same place her dad's holed up at. Part of me thinks during their confrontation, Hank will try to simulate their old home place, and maybe try to get her to understand his point of view. But she will likely remain adamant about her morals and very upset with the fact that he's killed so many people. And I think this will eventually lead Hank to his first successful controlling of a person in Lucy. With this constant fear that her fighting against the chip will make her brain explode, I could see this either being an end of the season moment or something to build up to the finale so that the Ghoul and Maximus and whoever else can team up to try to save her. Though if I'm gonna be real, I don't really want an Avengers type team up. I'd much rather everyone remain on their own separate stories and maybe come together because of some random conflict. Like back at the observatory in season 1. Still, with season 2, the Ghoul could develop enough respect for Lucy that he's willing to team up with Maximus to help her out. Either way, it looks like it's gonna be a wild and crazy season. But it also is gonna be a very risky one. With New Vegas being most of Fallout fans' most cherished game, and the lore Fallout fans care about the most, they really have to be cautious with how they approach the season, and really keeping note of all the tinier details, for the most avid Fallout fan will definitely remind them if they mess up on something. For me personally, while I have played most of the games, I'm alright with minor lore changes, as long as the story, the characters, and the aesthetic remains consistent. As you'll find with the rest of the channel, I'm very character focused and theory driven. And the Fallout universe is chock full of great quirky characters and really interesting theories. This channel will personally be looking out for Fallout's more eldritch or cosmic horror aspects. But I want to know what you guys like most about Fallout and if you're looking forward to the season. Or did you even hear about the season, because I barely saw any trailers for it at all. I was in the middle of breaking down a Stranger Things theory when I saw that the episode had released. And while I'm sure I missed a lot in this video and I'll likely have to make more, I'm curious if you guys have any theories for where the series will go. Either way, RIP Matthew Perry. Benny was a fantastic character to the New Vegas game.